Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to the channel, or hello if you're joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about a comment I received on a video regarding Large Luigi.
Good.
Large Luigi is a D&D character that majorly appears in Spelljammer settings. He's a character that a lot of DMs will include in Spelljammer just because of who he is and just because of what he is and how this individual treats those of different alignments. Long story short, Large Luigi is a neutral or a true neutral beholder rather than evil. But the comment that I wanted to talk about was by Ivan, and they wanted to theorycraft regarding other individuals climbing the Spindle, where Large Luigi became neutral by interacting with various devices climbing the Spindle, and the Great Mother. The Great Mother is the patron deity of beholders that some people or beholders believe is the progenitor of the beholder race. So perhaps they were the first, and in that way they're the most powerful. All we have about the Great Mother is that she has no direct name. She's just known as the Great Mother. She is either feminine or neutral because beholders can choose their gender at will, so often the Great Mother appears as female, so we'll be using that terminology from now on. The avatar of the Great Mother appears as an 18-foot or 5.5 meter beholder to her subjects. Now, whether she is the deity or whether she is the first of the beholders and the origins of them are still unknown is largely up to the setting at present. Some people... Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to break this video down into three things. First of all, we're going to talk about the Great Mother, and then we're going to talk about Large Luigi and the possibility of Large Luigi appearing in other settings and maybe Large Luigi having children. The third thing that we're going to talk about is what could be the origins of the beholder race and how that plays into the comment. So first things first is we need to talk about how insane and how mad this deity is. She is the type of creature that will kill her own followers on a whim. She's not like Loth, she's not like a lot of the other deities who there is some method to their madness. She is completely mercurial and will do whatever she wants, whenever she wants, but she will also act vindictively for the slightest slight. She doesn't care about her children, she doesn't care about her subjects, she doesn't care about anything. And I believe this is partly due to either having so many children that want to kill each other because each beholder believes they are the supreme creature. They are a little like Daleks in that way, but if each Dalek was individual and wanting to kill each other as soon as they met, that's what they would be like. She's also known with fertility, tyranny and magic, so some humans do pray to her. Again, she's very mercurial, so she will just often kill them rather than answering their prayers. She has the domain of chaos, death, evil, hatred and strength. I would go on to say that she's probably holds some psionic domains as well, especially now. But she's also known by some as Chantia. But again, her true name is unknown and the beholders don't give her one because each beholder is to themselves, though they do pay some sort of homage to her when she appears because they don't want to get blatted by a vastly superior, more powerful entity. Let's come to Large Luigi now. Large Luigi is a character that I've talked about before, but today we're going to be talking about his ascent in the Spindle and his change from a evil beholder into something quite different. Large Luigi, of course, is the owner of the Laughing Beholder in the Planescape setting. The Laughing Beholder is this sort of waypoint for individuals that anyone can go to, and you don't pay for drinks in the traditional way. You pay them with stories or tales. Again, he or Luigi will charge you what he thinks is fair. If you're evil, you're good, it doesn't really matter, as long as you come to that bar and you don't start fights and you interact with each other on a level playing field. Though saying that, Large Luigi does make himself known if there are great threats, usually against evil ones, but he has acted against good individuals if he believes they are too powerful for their own good. This is where he differs from other beholders, because there is logic, there is no sinister, and he probably would put up with other beholders even if Large Luigi might have children, which we don't know about. And what did he see when he ascended the Spindle is largely unknown, but we can do some theory crafting about that, which we'll do now. Perhaps he saw the truth of the matter, where beholders came from. Perhaps beholders are not supposed to be evil. Perhaps the Spindle is a test for them, and Large Luigi is the apex of that test. He has passed all of them, and the Great Mother is the great failing of that test. You either ascend or you fall, whereas Large Luigi has ascended into a true neutral character and cares about the universe completely. The Great Mother cares about nothing. So if you could say that, they are both halves of the same coin. That true evil is not the opposite of true good, but opposite of true neutral. But these are just theory crafting, and these are just my thoughts. Of course, people are going to disagree with them, but why is Large Luigi like he is, and why is he so happy to be around others? Why he doesn't surround himself with cultists and instantly kill them when they are no longer used to him is unknown. And why and how he thinks the way he does is probably down to the machines he interacted with in that great Spindle. Now, it could have been said that Large Luigi has known the truth of his race, but he could also know the truth of the Great Mother herself. Perhaps she's a false goddess, perhaps she's a lie, and he knows that now. That's why he chooses to surround himself with other individuals. Maybe he fears her in some way, or perhaps he doesn't. Perhaps he's equal to power in her, and this godlike power in Luigi is rather unused, simply because all he cares about is maintaining the balance. Great Mother symbol, we'll just come back to her for a moment, is an egg, a little ovoid symbol, often with a gem in the centre. Her body is repulsive and often decorated in bones, skulls and parts of dragons, so perhaps there's some sort of enmity with dragons, but we don't really know much about her because she changes from edition to edition and we don't really know much about them. I will add one other character now, Xanathar. Xanathar is a beholder that I believe has interacted with some machines in the Great Spindle. Maybe not all of them to Luigi's level, but certainly enough to get him off world, and certainly enough to make himself known to good and evil players or individuals. Xanathar is a collector, and he collects everything, and his pet, a goldfish, is often the only thing that he cares about. It's strange that a all-powerful, perhaps evil individual cares about something. Shows that he has started to change on the way Large Luigi has. Maybe he was the original that Luigi came from, but of course we don't know that because we don't know much about Large Luigi, because we don't know much about him. All of this is theory crafting, and this is just inspired by their comments. Now we'll come to the comment at large. This is the third part, and Ivan muses, does Large Luigi's knowledge cross other boundaries such as other realities and other worlds? I'm going to say yeah to that. I think that Large Luigi has been to everywhere. and knows almost everything in the universe, and that's why he tries to set himself away from it. I suppose that he's even been to Sigil at some point, and perhaps in Sigil, considering how vast it is, there is a shard or part of Large Luigi there, or an entrance to his bar, that people can drop in and communicate to the great and wise Large Luigi. Is he aware of Xanathar, and is Xanathar aware of Large Luigi? Maybe. Maybe they are aware of each other. Maybe they're shards of each other. Maybe that climbing the spindle separated them somehow, or he was the origin, or one of them was the origin. You see, beholders are a strange creature, and sometimes they can choose to when to split, and sometimes it'll just happen. So it's very strange that we don't know, and lots of that has been left up to DMs and GMs, these ideas to talk about. I know that when people think of Large Luigi, they obviously think of Mario's brother, but I can't help think of this beholder who is just laughing and talking with everyone and sharing stories with each other, using his psionic majesty just to sling drinks and food in a bar. I mean, how awesome is that? A character that could, and sometimes does, affect reality itself and the fate of worlds, and even the universe itself, simply wants to live a rather quiet and amusing life in a bar surrounded by laughter. And really, that's all we can say about him, or him or they or whatever, because that's all we know. And I think that's a good point to leave it on. So if you've got any thoughts about Large Luigi, or if you want me to talk about Xanathar as an individual himself, could you leave me a nice comment? That would be awesome. If you could like and subscribe, that would be great. Thank you all for your time. Do take care of yourselves, and I've been Trix, and you've been all of you. Bye bye.